ready for baseball here on a thirsty Thursday. Shrine on Airline, welcome to the ballpark. Tim Grubbs, Ron Swoboda, we're ready for baseball tonight. Fourth and final game of the series. New Orleans with a chance to win the series as they lead the series 2-1. 82 degrees, beautiful night for baseball. Dustin Beggs on the hill, getting the start for New Orleans. And here's the shortstop, Edmundo Sosa. Ready to get it going. New Orleans, half a game out of first place. Memphis, 2 games out of first place. No longer in the same division after years of being division rivals. And this one is going to be swung on and fouled off at 7:01 into the seats first base side.
Sosa played the first game, missed the second 2, and leads off here in game 4, and he rolls it to the shortstop. Beggs is a right-hander. As we mentioned, he's pitched 2 games here after starting the season in Double-A. Fastball, low 90s. There's some sink at work there and a slider curveball change behind all of that. When he's throwing ground balls, you feel like that's what should happen.
It's a throwback Thursday at the ballpark, so New Orleans is wearing its throwback Pelican uniforms. This goes back to the 1942 New Orleans Pelicans.
Well,
blue bill, blue cap, red bill.
And that would be one that I have no memory of because I didn't appear on this earth until 1944, so I can't help you there. But
no. 1 ball and 1 strike. Beggs sets and delivers, swung on and missed.
It's got that thing like the Cardinals, St. Louis, and Tulane with the birds sitting
on the bats.
Yeah, that's always cool. I like these uniforms.
1 ball and 2 strikes here, and the 1-2 swung on and struck him out. When they wore these uniforms back in '42, they were the Double-A affiliate of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yep.
Swung on and missed. They're playing the Cardinal affiliate tonight, the Memphis Redbirds. Here's John Nagowski, who will step in. Good start here for Beggs. He had a rough one 5 days ago in Round Rock. Gave up 4 runs in the first. He calmed down after that first inning, which was great. Savior of the bullpen, because if you had to get into the pen any earlier, could have been rough. But started the game rough. Ended up getting a no decision.
If you looked at Beggs' numbers, you would say that last year was a watershed year for him. What hitters hit against him, his hits per innings pitched, all that stuff was down and manageable. This one popped up to the right side.
And it's the first baseman coming over who gets underneath it, and Pete O'Brien makes the catch. Good, clean start to this one. Dustin Beggs mows him down in order. 1, 2, 3. Half inning in the books from the Shrine on Airline. New Orleans coming to bat. This is Cakes Baseball. Monty Harrison will step into the batter's box. 274 batting average. 4 home runs, 9 RBI. Set to face Austin Gomber, Gomber. 3-0 with a 2.54 earned run average. Gomber, 25 years of age, a big 6'5" guy, you know.
It's power stuff from the left-hander too. His fastball be kind of low to mid-90s. He's got a curveball behind that, a changeup, and a sort of cutter slider thing that's also in the mix.
1-1 pitch, ground ball up the middle into center field, and that's a base hit. Monty had really been struggling. He had just 2 hits in his last 16 at-bats. So in fact, he, after being on base 16 consecutive games, he had been 0 for 8 coming into that at-bat.
Yeah, so he gets a fastball out over the plate, down, and bangs it up the middle, and the baby kick's got a little something going.
Nicely going. Here's Isan Diaz.
From the left side. This guy can't be any fun. He's long.
Bunt put down, and it is right in front of the plate. They're going to throw to second and get the speedy Harrison. That was just, you know, sometimes you bunt the ball too far. Sometimes you bunt it too soft. Well, that one was on the soft side, and Harrison's gone.
No sacrifice there. It goes 2-6 as a fielder's choice. Catcher Joe Hudson jumped on it, but it was right there by his feet. Easy play to call. He just needed to roll it a little bit more. You know, it's funny with these lively baseballs, and you don't get the bunt out there far enough.
Here's Dean. Steps in, and the kick's right fielder today. 383 batting average, 3 home runs, 15 runs batted in.
5th in the league in hitting, and if I bet you before this season began that Austin Dean would be hitting where he's hitting in the PCL, and the guy in front of him is Austin Nola with a little higher average by a point tonight with more hits and more RBIs, would you have taken that bet? And I don't mean to knock Austin Nola, but it's just, you know, if you're going to compare 2 hitters and what we saw from Austin Nola, who was coming on in his conversion to catcher. But a lot of folks, if you're wondering
now
what's going on with Austin Nola, he's having a heck of a start.
He's having a great season. I'm very happy for him.
Couldn't be anything but happier for a guy like him.
The one thing that, and I hate to even say it, and you just don't know, the other side of the league is so offensive.
Yeah.
That you have to have a little bit of an asterisk on it, that it's added some points just because of the way those ballparks play.
Oh, yeah.
And if you ever don't believe me, you just have to look at the top 5 teams in the league in pitching, look at the top 5 teams in the league in hitting, and normally the top 5 teams in hitting are always on the West Coast, and the pitching are always, you know, on the American side. And it's year to year, it's always the same. No matter what the affiliates are, as there's the pitch to Dean. But still, you still got to make contact, and I'm happy that he's doing it. Here's Harold Ramirez after the walk to Dean.
Here's a guy that's hot. Harold is a guy that never gets cheated up there. Had a couple of pinch hits. He had 2 for 2 as a pinch hitter. You talked about all the doubles he had been hitting. But he's been rocking and rolling.
Pitch to Ramirez.
467 in his last 5 games, 484 in his last 10 games, 15 for 31. That's on fuego, to say the least, en español.
And this one is going to be fouled off first base side.
6'5", 220, we mentioned. Austin Gomber is a big fella out there, and he comes right at you.
1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 now to the batter, Ramirez, with 2 men on, and it's going to be rolled third base side, foul.
That's that slider, and he got it in a good place. Ramirez got a little piece of it, but boy, oh boy, was that a tough pitch in a nasty location.
Ball and 2 strikes now with 1 out. Here to the batter, Harold Ramirez. Scoreless ball game here in the bottom of the 1st inning. And the pitch going to be down low for a ball, and it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That was a little curveball, hard curveball. He throws everything hard, it looks like. That curveball in the dirt.
2-2 now with one away.
Gomber's fourth-round pick by the Cardinals.
A 2-2 pitch going to be getting a piece of this one as he fouls it off right at the plate. Yeah, he was a fourth-round pick back in 2014 out of Florida Atlantic. Last year was called up to the big leagues.
Yeah,
29 games. He was 6-2 with a 4.44 ERA.
You know, that's surviving in my book. You know, it's hard to say when you're a young guy, and he's only 25 years old, or he will be 25 in November. That's surviving, and he's got the kind of stuff, if he masters it a bit, finds up his command a little, and he's probably one of those young guys with a power arm that just walks a few too many people.
2-2 pitch. Swung out and a fly ball into right, but the right fielder is there. Garcia will make the catch.
And you won't be tagging up on him. Ramirez hit it pretty good, but right in the range of Adolis Garcia, who has a canyon out there. He's got a gun, and there was never any thought that Diaz would be going over.
So here's Peter O'Brien, who will step into the batter's box.
Well, let's see what Peter does with this higher octane left-handed stuff.
Runners at first and second base. O'Brien is at the plate. And the pitch is going to be swung on and missed here for a strike. 0-1 out of the batter, Peter O'Brien.
That was one of those, here it is, fastballs. Here it is, brother. See what you can do with it. When you're 6'6", think of this too. It's not all in that one up above, just a bubble above.
Line shot,
yeah.
Left field, base hit. Left fielder going to cut it off, and Ravello, we're going to get a run in.
Yep.
Diaz scampers in from second base. Dean goes first to third, and Peter O'Brien with an RBI base hit to left field.
That's a nice piece of hitting. Got another heater. That one down and out over the plate. Peter smoked it down the left field line and took a good scamper by Ravello, the left fielder, to get over there and cut it off. So O'Brien holds it first and third, 2 out, and the hitter is Devin Marrero, who's been swinging the bat pretty good of late.
There's the pitch going to be taken down low here for a ball.
And if he's swinging the bat at any pitch better, it's he's been getting some good hacks at number 1, that fastball. So see if he can make me prophetic here and get a good hack.
1-0 now with 2 away. And the 1-0 taken for a strike.
6 for his last 17 is Marrero. That's a nice little bump in what was a fairly slow start for him, but as I said, he's gotten some pretty good looks at some heaters and put some good swings on them.
1-1 now with 2 down. Here to the batter, Marrero. The 1-1 pitch. Runner at first and second, and the pitch is going to be taken here for a ball. It's now 2 balls and a strike.
Good-looking curveball, but Marrero lays off, and it's a ball.
2-1, and the 2-1 swung on and missed here for a strike.
Well, maybe that's what Memphis has discovered in this situation with runners in scoring position at third and a runner at first. Marrero's gotten a look at a couple of breaking balls, and with a 2-2 count, let's see what he gets after 2 back-to-back breaking balls.
2-2 pitch swung through, struck him out. Inning comes to a close. In the inning, it is 1 run on the benefit of 2 hits. Couple of men left. We've played an inning. Cakes out in front, 1-0. This is Cakes Baseball. Inning of baseball in the books. New Orleans has the 1-0 lead. And stepping into the batter's box here is going to be Adolis Garcia. Garcia takes the pitch here from Beggs outside here for a ball, and it's now 2 balls and no strikes.
Garcia from Cuba. He got it.
Fly ball, well hit left field. This one's going to leave the yard. His 8th home run of the season.
There was no doubt about that one. It was going to come down behind the fence because he put a pretty good swing on it. Wind kind of blowing out to left field as it is, and he got her up in that little breeze, and we knew that one was a goner.
408 feet, 96 miles an hour off the bat. Here's the pitch here to Raniel Ravelo. Pitch taken for a strike.
So we're tied in the early going. Ravelo.
A 1 line shot right at the third baseman, Yadiel Rivera. Right place, makes the catch.
Smoked. That's 2 balls hit pretty good. One of them was a bomb and the other was an out. Shows you the things that can happen, the extremes of what can happen in the game of baseball just that quickly. We mentioned that Dustin Beggs had a pretty solid last season. This year has not been that kind of year at all. If you look at hitters hitting over 300 against him,
you know, but he's,
at each stop.
His 2 starts here, this is being his 3rd start, he's given up some hits. He's gotten himself into trouble. But you know what? His last start, I wasn't sure if he was going to get out of the first inning the way it was going. He ends up pitching 6. And I remember the next day talking to Keith Johnson, our manager, and KJ was like, that was a bullpen saver. You know,
yep.
When you see a guy on the ropes in the first, but to be able to bully your way out of it and then be able to pitch that many innings.
You know, folks don't
realize what...
Don't think about what that means to a team. A guy that sucks it up. You know, he knows he didn't come out of the chute the way he wanted it to, but he mans up, goes out there, and
he ends up with a no decision because our team rallied back. Fly ball into center. Harrison backpedals, and now we ended up losing the ball game, but it was a high-scoring affair that day in Round Rock.
You know, you always hear that thing about he eats up innings for you. You know, a guy that'll eat up innings. Well, what that means is he keeps you from burning up a bullpen when you really need it. When you need a bullpen in a game where you can win it, and you've used them up in a game that a guy left early as a starting pitcher, that's what that means. If that happens to you enough during the season, you're not crazy about a guy going out there and getting smoked. But if he can swallow some innings in the process and save the pen, you'll win more games.
2 balls and no strikes now with 2 away now to the batter, Max Schrock. 2-0, line drive, right field. Right fielder is there. Austin Dean will make the catch, and the inning is over. 1 run on 1 hit, and nobody left on base. Inning and a half in. Cakes and Redbirds all tied at 1. This is Cakes Baseball. Back at the ballpark. Ball game is tied at 1 as we move into the bottom of the second. Yadier Rivera will step in as he takes the pitch here for strike 1.
Yeah, you mentioned that Gomber was moved from AAA to AA. Gomber, at one point in that, even with that move, won 10 straight decisions. So he is a guy that can get it rolling.
Fouled off at the plate. It's a ball and 2 strikes now to the batter, Yadier Rivera. 1-2. And the pitch going to be grounded foul right at the plate. Try it again now with the count being a ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 now with nobody out. Here's the 1-2 pitch. The delivery.
Ooh, nasty.
Swung on and struck him out. Rivera gone. That is K number 2 on the day for Gomber. Brings up the number 8 batter. Catcher Brian Holiday.
Brian had a day off yesterday. Wilkin Castillo, our other veteran catcher, had the duties.
Pitch going to be taken down low. Holly, 1 for his last 9 at the plate. Batting .289. Couple of home runs, 7 runs batted in.
He got kind of hot there for a while, but there's a coolness settling in here that he... Whoa, good hack at that fastball.
Swung on and fouled back. Bringing our count now to a ball and a strike, 1-1.
When Brian first got here, when they first came out to the yard and were working out, he had his little son with him, looked like about a 6-year-old, and the kid was fearless.
He's still here. He's usually in the dugout or the clubhouse.
Oh, that's great.
He's got his name on his jersey and everything.
Oh, that's cool. I had not noticed that part.
2 balls and a strike, and the 2-1 pitch is going to be fouled off.
You know, he looks like you would take a wild guess and say that young man's going to play somewhere.
Yep.
He's going to give it a shot somewhere.
2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 delivery. Low and inside, ball 3, and it's now 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Looks like if Gomber gets his fastball down, it's a little more hittable pitch.
3-2 pitch gonna miss. Ball 4. Brian Holiday will draw the walk.
That was a 3-2 slider, which tells you he's not afraid to throw it. He walks him, and now we're going to find out all this bunting practice the pitchers have been getting lately, and I really like that. One of the things I've noticed about Keith Johnson is they work, the pitchers do, on all kinds of things, including their bunting, including their hitting.
Beggs shows bunt, and the pitch is going to be missed away here for ball 1.
And in these National League games, you know, you're going to get a chance to do this. You do your job, and you can turn a 1-out walk to the 8-hole hitter.
1-1 pitch, stabs at it, and it's a strike.
You can get him over and get him in just that fast against a tough lefty. Might be a good idea.
Ball and a strike now to the batter, Beggs. And the 1-1. Bunts at it again, strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes now with 1 out.
Beggs lives in Roswell, Georgia.
1-2, bunted it foul for the strikeout.
Okay.
Made contact, but strikeout, 2 unassisted.
Can't foul it off with 2 strikes if you're bunting.
So
It's not
brings
allowed.
up the top of the order, and Monty Harrison with a runner at first.
Monty hit it pretty hard on the ground for a single up the middle.
Pitch
Whoa.
taken here for a strike.
He gets a first pitch breaking ball for his troubles.
0-1 now with 2 outs.
Catcher's Joe Hudson for Memphis.
Kisner caught the first 3 games of the series.
Did I hear Steve Selby tell us that they traded Francisco Pena?
Yes.
Pena was on this roster, the son of our former manager, Tony Pena.
Francisco was traded to the San Francisco Giants organization, so he'll be in Sacramento. 0-2 delivery, swung on, struck him out, end of the inning. He strikes out the side. In the inning, no runs, no hits, a walk, and a man left. 2 in the books. Memphis and New Orleans tied at 1. This is Cakes Baseball. Oh, the Acme Oyster House race, sprinting across the field, and the crawfish and the oyster.
You know,
Our ball game moves into the 3rd. It's a 1-1 game.
if I ordered a plate of oysters and they were smiling like our oyster in the run there in the race, I think I'd give up oysters. And I don't want to eat an oyster that's looking back at me.
I tell you, the char grilled oysters that I eat, I think, look back at me, and they're yummy.
They go right down. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Man, you're right.
Here's Joe Hudson, who
good.
steps in.
That's the greatest invention. There's on our screen. That's the look of an oyster that finds out it's going to be charbroiled.
1-1, line drive in to left. This one's got some carry. It's going to be off the top of the wall, and it's gone.
Woo.
I didn't think it was going to leave the yard, but it did. Joe Hudson, I think that one bounced off the top of the wall.
Just over the fence. And, you know, it's like, I was like you. I'm not sure I thought that was going to carry, but we've been talking about these lively baseballs this year, and that one didn't come down. And
That's Hudson's 3rd homer.
yeah, he doesn't have that many at-bats, and all of a sudden he's got 3 bombs.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that's batting 200 and has 3 homers.
Yeah, like 25 at-bats, you know, in the early going, and not a ton of hits.
This one is going to be swung on and fouled off.
That was hit number 6. So half his hits
are home runs.
Wow.
That's hard to do.
That's indeed.
1-1, grounded up the line, first base side, foul.
The only thing that gives you the heebie-jeebies about that is that's like 5 balls hit pretty hard. All the outs were hard and squared up in the 2nd inning.
2 balls and 2 strikes now. Gomber delivers, and the pitch going to be, I should say, the pitch to Gomber is inside, ball 3. Well, you don't want to go full count on the pitcher. And he has. 3-2, ground ball. Beggs comes off the mound. He's going to take it himself.
There you go. Well, they worked on that play today, and that's that little in-between ground ball, you know, the roller. Whether it's a bunt or a swinging roller like that one between the pitcher and the first baseman, and pitcher has to first try to catch it, and if he can't, he's got to be heading towards first base to cover.
Well, I'm glad he got it, because
1 unassisted on the roller. So
I don't believe Beggs was in that program. They don't usually put the start, so I'm glad he made it, because
Yeah.
otherwise they might have to do it again tomorrow.
that was
if he didn't make it done. 0-1. Liner back at the second baseman, perfectly shifted for out number 2.
You get any of that one? That was a soft line drive.
Soft line drive. It was 66 miles an hour off the bat.
That's not scalded.
No, we'll get you a ticket on the Earhart Expressway, though.
No, that 60 won't. 70 might. I'm not sure. I got one on there coming when I worked at WVUE. I was coming back from a Saints game and running in to get my story on the air, and I was going a little quick, and that state trooper had something for me.
Popped him up, shallow right, and coming in a hurry is Dean, and the right fielder makes a sitting catch, and he makes the grab in foul territory. Well, it didn't look like O'Brien or Diaz were going to get to it. So as the right fielder, you got to do everything you can, and he makes the play. Well, we watched one drop in fair territory similar to that yesterday. This time, Dean says, I'm not going to have that happen on my watch.
We got that covered.
1 run on 1 hit, end of the inning. Ball game heads to the bottom of the third. 2-1 Redbirds. This is Cakes Baseball. Redbirds get their second home run and have taken the lead. Ball game goes to the bottom of the third inning. Isan Diaz will step in to lead it off. Diaz, line drive left field. That ball's going to be over the head of Ravelo. Extra bases for Isan.
Nice.
Well, the left fielder immediately started going back. He just wasn't going to get back quick enough. That was 103 mile an hour off the bat.
That was a bullet, and I didn't think Ravelo had any shot. He gave it one of those throw your glove up in the air and act like you might catch it, but he had no shot at that one. It was funny. They played a little game today with the pitching machine throwing a little baby slider, and it was throwing them kind of hard, and Isan lined one of them over off the base of the left field wall in batting practice. That looked exactly like it. And it's 2 bases, and the Cakes have something going with the tying run on.
You mentioned Dean is finally qualified with enough at-bats to jump into the top 10 in the league in hitting. He opened play today.
It's funny. He does it by getting the at-bats, but he was well over 400.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, his batting average went down yesterday, but yet he didn't qualify yesterday.
No.
Today, he qualifies. Pitch taken for a ball. It's now 2-0.
Well, he was going to qualify one way or the other. Whether he got the base hits or not, it was all about. But he's right there behind, as this evening begins, right behind Austin Nola at 383.
2-0 pitch going to be popped up back behind the plate and into the seats. And it's now 2 balls and a strike. 2-1.
Austin Dean wearing number 9 in those Pelican throwbacks. I really like those jerseys.
Good looking uni.
Yeah, they're not, they don't button all the way down. They got a little like a golf shirt, you know, 2 buttons up top. I like that. It's handsome.
2-1 pitch. This one is going to be fouled off into the seats. First base side. Try it again now with the count being 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 now to the batter, Austin Dean. Two pitch. And the delivery. Swung on and missed. Woo. Strike 3 to Dean.
That was a big, nasty curveball. Left-hander like him from that 6'6" reach. He drops that snake on a right-hander under his hands, and that's a hard one going down.
So with 1 out and a runner at second base, it brings to the plate the left fielder, Harold Ramirez. And Ramirez will step into the batter's box and take the pitch here for ball 1.
That's 5 Ks for Gomber. 4 of them have been with that curveball, swinging and missing.
Here's the 1-0. The pitch taken for a strike. It's now 1-1. Kicks down by a run. It's a 2-1 ball game. New Orleans with 3 hits today. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled back, and it's now a ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 now with 1 away. Ball and 2 strikes here to the hitter.
Harold Ramirez took the first strike, and then he swung at that breaking ball. It was a slider and got underneath it.
Now time is called as Ramirez steps out of the batter's box.
See what he wants to give him here, 1-2.
1-2 pitch going to be taken here for a ball. And it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I guess that was a curveball, and I guess when you've struck out 4 guys swinging and missing at your curveball, it's worth another one. That one was hung up out of the zone.
2-2. Swung on and fouled off.
That was the good one. And he keeps the at-bat alive.
Make it 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So a big power lefty. Not afraid to throw you a whole bunch of breaking balls. And he's got, like I said, he's got a couple of different kinds, a hard slider and a hard curveball.
2-2, grounded towards third. Third baseman up with it, throws across the diamond for the out. They throw back to third. Aggressive base running there by Diaz, and he gets in there, sliding head first.
That's good. Look, he gets in there easy. You know, if you read that right, it was a ground ball straight at the third baseman. You read that right, and you've got enough speed, he gets over to third base. So,
yeah, it's one of those ones. If
you got a chance here, if he bounces one of those curveballs to Peter, and I got a feeling he's going to want to throw him a couple.
There's O'Brien, who already has an RBI hit in the ball game today. Has a dozen runs batted in.
Peter yanked his fastball hard down the left field line. So first pitch was a curveball, as you would suspect. Got a couple of bases open. The guy that drove in the only run for the Cakes. And they're going to pitch him like he's the best fastball hitter they ever saw.
2 balls and no strikes now with 2 down. Two and 0 now with 2 away now to the batter O'Brien. Runner at third, down by a run. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Taken. And it's now 2 balls and a strike.
Slider.
Here's the 2-1 pitch now with 2 away. And the 2-1 delivery, swung on and a fly ball, well hit right field. This one's getting out, and it's a splashdown. A 2-run homer, and New Orleans retakes the lead on Peter O'Brien's second and third RBI of the night, and home run number 5. Touch them all, Pete.
That was a 93-mile-an-hour fastball down and away. And Peter just put the fat part of the bat on it. It's against the wind, and it makes the pool area. That is just a really good pass at a pitch that wasn't all that bad. And it is a goner, a 2-run blow, and the Cakes take a lead
Splash down into the pool and right.
Wow.
And New Orleans back on top by a run. 105-mile-an-hour off the bat. Carried 367 feet. And Devin Marrero tips in and takes the pitch for a ball.
This guy's only given up 2 home runs this season.
1-0 now with 2 away.
Now it's 3.
Marrero swung on and coming back our way, just to our right. Made its way into the upper tank here at the Shrine. Ricocheted, and a fan was able to
Sweet.
grab that baseball. Here's the 1-1. Pitch taken for a strike.
2 games ago, Peter O'Brien had an at-bat, and I thought he was getting a little long with his swing, and he had an at-bat where he got a couple of looks at fastballs and really got his hands a little tighter inside the ball, closer to his body, and he got the bat through with a lot of velocity, it looked like, shorter to the ball.
1-2 pitch, check swing. He did not go. It's even now at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I think he felt something there. He didn't play yesterday, but he had a great batting practice, and today he's put this same swing into the game. A bullet his first time up on a fastball, and this one a fastball down and away that he takes into the pool area.
2-2 pitch, swung on and fouled off, and it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes now to the batter, Devin Marrero. Two and 2 now with 2 outs. 3-2 New Orleans. The 2-2 pitch gonna miss inside. Ball 3 brings the count full.
All right.
So a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes now to the hitter. 3-2 delivery. I think he went, didn't he? They said he did not. He was able to hold up. So it is a walk here for Marrero. I thought he had gone. We'll take it.
I wouldn't have been shocked if he called him out.
I don't know if they ever appealed. I saw the first baseman, Nagowski, pointing, but I never actually saw the catcher point, and the first base umpire never said anything. You don't ask, you don't. Here's Rivera. Swung on and a fly ball down the right field line into the seats and out of play. 0-1. 2 balls and 1 strike now with 2 outs here to the hitter. Cakes have grabbed the lead here in the bottom of the 3rd, scoring twice. Been back and forth already. New Orleans with a run in the 1st. Memphis answered with a run in the 2nd and a run in the 3rd. And this
it hit the base.
Broken bat. The ball hits the base, and it's going to be a fair ball.
Tough play for Schrock down there. He couldn't get to the ball, and it broken bat. The head of the bat spinning down the 3rd base line in foul territory, and the ball hit the front of the base and popped up in the air. It's a fair ball, base hit. Thank you very much.
How about that?
What they put those little white things out there for, and if you hit them the right way, you get a knock.
And you know that's a tough one because your eyes, I don't know what your eyes pull you towards the bat as well, because you got a flying bat that was going towards the Memphis dugout. I'm sure you got to focus, and then the ball takes a weird ricochet like that. It looked to me like it was going to be a foul ball all the way.
Schrock just didn't get to it before it got to the base, and
right. So
he's back with, he's back. The hitter's swinging away, so he's back, giving him a little room.
You catch a break there with that ball hitting the bag. So here's Holiday, who now bats here with two men on.
No.
They're going to throw to first, and we got a guy picked off.
No.
Now they're going to get in a rundown. Maybe we can force a miscue here. Not going to happen.
Oh, man.
And you just ran yourself out of a potential situation. In the inning, 2 runs on 3 hits and a man left on base. 3 in the books. Cakes and Redbirds. It's a 3-2 New Orleans lead. This is Cakes baseball. Well, a tough end of the inning there. You run yourself out. It's getting picked off. And what makes things worse, adds to the pain, is now next inning it'll start off with the 8-9 batters.
Yeah, that was a little unconscious.
Yeah.
You know, he was 20 feet off of first base, it looked like, and acting like the first baseman wasn't interested in him. Well, they were interested in him, all right, and that started the play when Rivera just went to sleep down there, and they ended up putting out the guy on second base, Marrero, as the play unfolded.
The putout goes 2-3.
2-3?
As the first baseman ran across the diamond and tagged out Marrero.
Oh, okay. Cool.
1 ball and 1 strike.
Got it. Thank you.
The 1-1 going to miss low and away. Two balls and a strike now to the batter, Nagowski.
Well, that's unfortunate. 2 nights in a row where we've had some suspicious-looking base running plays after 2 really solid games.
Yep.
To open this series. Really solid, well-played games.
And the pitch going to be missed here for a walk.
Nagowski's on. He walks a fair amount. Pretty good eye up there.
So Garcia.
Here's the guy who bombed one out. Might want to be careful with him.
Adolis will step in. And the pitch going to be hard and in for ball 1. 1-0 now to the batter, Garcia. Ball and no strikes. The 1-0 pitch swung on and popped up. Foul territory, first base side. And it's now a ball and a strike. 1-1 now to the batter, Garcia. One ball, 1 strike, nobody out. Short lead off the bag at first. Pitch going to be up and in here for ball 2, and it's now 2 balls and a strike now to the batter, Adolis Garcia. 2-1. Here's the 2-ball, 1 strike pitch here to the hitter. And a delivery, line drive, left field. Ball's going to drop and roll into the grounds crew area down the left field line. 2-2.
Garcia, 3 for 12 coming into tonight's game. Of course, he had that leadoff home run early in the count, leading off in the 2nd inning. A guy you would probably like to throw a breaking ball to here if you could.
Here's the 2-2 pitch, going to be popped up. Shallow left, shortstop drifting out, going to get underneath it and make the catch. After you let him go deep on you last time, nice pitch there. Get him to pop it up.
Get a 2-2 slider in a good place on the end of his bat. Nice work by Beggs.
So here comes Ravelo, who will step in. The pitch swung on and missed here for a strike, 0-1.
Looks to me like Beggs, and this is the first time I've seen him pitch, uses like a two-seamer and a four-seamer, and the two-seamer has a little sink to it, and that was a two-seamer.
Well, one pitch missing here for a ball. It's now 1-1. One and one now. Throw over to first. Back into the bag safely. Nagowski. I did ask today Steve Selby, the longtime voice of the Redbirds, for Justin Williams. Played for Memphis last season. Came over in a trade. Kid from here. I asked him where he was. He got hurt in spring training.
Don't mind.
So I meant to ask earlier in the series where he was. Wasn't sure. Pretty good ball player. Came over in a trade from Tampa last year, and the deal that sent Tommy Pham from St. Louis to Tampa Bay. 3 balls and a strike.
Yeah, an outfielder. Grew up in Homa.
Yep. I remember talking to him. Real good kid. 3-1 pitch. Grounded down the third base line. This is going to be a fair ball into the left field corner. Nagowski heading to third. He'll stop there. On his way to second base is Ravelo. Got around on that one and scorched it down the third base line for extra bases.
Nobody's catching that one.
There's been some solid contact here today.
Yes, they have.
So here's Lane Thomas. Before he bats, pitching coach to pay a visit.
Jeremy Powell. I'll tell you what, they stay busy. I watched as he visits with Dustin Beggs. You know, he went inside after they did all of that pitchers playing games with the pitching machine and whatnot, and there were a bunch of pitchers involved in that game. They played a game and had a good time. Just had a little fun, little tension breaker. And then the pitchers went in for bunting and batting practice, slug bunting practice. Just impressed with the fact that Keith Johnson has them working on this stuff all the time. It isn't punishment.
Here's Lane Thomas. Steps into the batter's box. And Thomas, ground ball hit to third. That one's going to get through. Scoring is Nagowski. We're tied. On his way to third base is Ravelo. Base hit, RBI for Thomas. Nice job of base running there by Ravelo. He held up to make sure the ball would get through. No chance he could score on that hit to left. So with runners at first and third, it brings up the third baseman, Max Schrock, here in a tie game.
Third hit for Thomas in the series. He had that ball that got over Monty Harrison's head in center that went for a triple.
Pitch taken here for a ball. 1-0 now to the batter, Schrock. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Max Schrock steps in. And the 1-0 delivery going to be taken here for ball 2. And it's now 2 balls and no strikes here with 1 down here to the hitter, Schrock.
It is not unusual when your stuff's getting knocked around a little bit that you start nibbling a little bit more, and then you really start missing a little bit more. This has popped up Left field.
Shallow left. Ramirez coming in. They'll tag the runner, but just to draw the throw. And throw was offline. Nice job by Holiday to leave his position to block it.
That's a tough one because Ramirez in left field comes over, and Ramirez, you know, not a great arm from the outfield. But he's throwing almost right up the third baseline. So if you're at third base, you really couldn't take off on that.
Here's Hudson. For our viewers on TV, you're really getting the bugs tonight.
Yep.
Of course, sitting here in the booth watching the game, I can barely see them.
There they are.
There they all are. It's that time of year. The termites are swarming.
Are out. Turn your porch light off.
Yep. That time of year. Here's Joe Hudson, the catcher. How about the stat you said earlier?
I wonder if these are termites or something else. I don't know. They
It's
look
probably
a little
termites.
bigger.
I don't know.
They look large. They look large.
I know termite season's usually early May.
Yeah.
So I just assumed. I'm not a bug expert.
I'm not even enough expert to know it's early May, so.
The pitch is going to be down low. Throw down to second. Looked like he might have had him. No catch by the second baseman, and he's going to slide in there from first for the stolen base. Take another look. Would he have got him if he caught it? Nah, he probably would have had his foot in there anyway.
Probably
I
not.
think his foot would have been in anyway.
I think Eson was trying to make that quick tag, and I don't know that it would have made any difference.
I don't think so.
With 2 outs, 2 runners in scoring position.
There's the pitch, and it's a bullet down the first base line into the right field corner. Extra bases. They're going to score 2. Ravello and Thomas are in. A huge 2-out knock for Joe Hudson. This guy didn't even play in this series.
Guy is
He's been
unbelievable.
huge tonight.
Doubles and home runs. Man, his slugging average is up. So they've bounced back and scored 3 in this inning and taken a 5-3 lead. Wow.
So here comes Austin Gomber, the pitcher. Bats with 2 outs, and the first pitch is going to be swung on and missed here for strike 1.
Yeah, he's laughing. Gomber is, because that was one of those whoops, pardon me, swings.
No more looks at the bugs. Here's the 0-1 pitch.
He could have said a termite got in my eye.
0-1 delivery, swung on and missed here for strike 2. Well, both teams have 5 hits today. Memphis with 5 runs. Maybe the termites will start eating the bats and the offense will settle down a little bit.
I don't know if they like that hickory or ash, maple.
0-2 pitch, going to be a strikeout, and the inning is over. In the inning, though, Memphis is going to get 3 runs. A key 2-out hit by Joe Hudson. 3 runs in the inning on 3 hits, and they leave a couple of men up. Ball game will head to the bottom of the 4th. 5-3 Memphis. This is Cakes Baseball. Got the bugs swarming at the ballpark. Ball game moves into the bottom of the 4th. 5-3 our score. Memphis has now taken the lead after putting 3 up in the top of the 4th.
And hats off to one of our very observant camera people who did a wonderful pullback off the Terminix advertisement sign. As he pulls back, and you see all the moth, all termites all around it. That's a pretty good advertisement for Terminix, and the only thing would have taken the shine off of that is if the termites have been chewing on their sign.
Well, the sign's not made out of wood. Oh, one pitch is going to be
Smart.
taken for a ball.
Very smart.
1-1 now to the batter. Sharply
Yo.
hit ball up the middle
Yo.
into center field. It's going to be a base hit.
Boy.
So Holiday singles into center.
Yeah, they were around a little bit on Holiday, but he hit that ground ball hard up the middle, and the second baseman, Urias, diving up the middle, couldn't get it. He was close, but no cigar. Now we'll see if, for the second time in a row, if Beggs can get the bunt down.
Here's Dustin Beggs, who steps into the batter's box, and the pitch is going to be taken here for ball one. 1-0 now to the hitter. 5-3 our score. And stabbed at it. Pitch taken for a strike.
That wasn't a strike, but he offered at it as a trying to bunt it.
Holiday aboard with a hit, trying to move him over. He was unable to do so in the first at bat. 1-1.
He bunted out another one up and out of the zone. That's not going to help your cause here.
Ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 now to the hitter.
You know, you ought to be able to see. You put your bat at the top of the strike zone, and if the ball's above your bat, you take it. He did it that time. Atta boy. Good job, Dustin.
2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 now to the hitter, Dustin Beggs.
You're still bunting, so
2-2.
don't you worry about that.
The 2-2 pitch swung through and struck him out. So Beggs is a strikeout. And it brings to the plate the center fielder, Monty Harrison. Harrison is singled and struck out. So Monty will step in.
Threw him a whole bunch of curveballs last time up, and
This one is fouled off.
Monty was behind that fastball a little bit.
Nothing in 1 now with 1 away. One pitch here to the batter, Harrison. Going to be up high for a ball, and it's now 1 ball and 1 strike.
Beautiful night to watch a ball game, though, for sure. Comfortable, not a lot of wind out here. Good time of year.
Ground ball hit through the hole, left side into left field for a base hit.
Left a little slider out over the plate, and Monty Harrison hit it hard in the hole for a single.
Now rip that one and brings up Isan Diaz.
Diaz has scored a couple of runs. He was on a fielder's choice, a bunt that didn't get out far enough in home plate. The runner was thrown out at second, but he was on first when Peter O'Brien drove him in from second base.
Runners at first and second base. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be breaking ball taken for ball 1. 1-0.
And then after he hit that double back in the third, he scored when Peter O'Brien went down the right field line into the pool area. Sweet.
1-0 now with 1 away.
Tying runs aboard.
Runners at first and second base. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's going to be up and in. Ball 2, and it's now 2 balls and no strikes. Two and 0 now with 1 out. Two-0 pitch, swung on and fouled back, and we'll try it again now with the count being at 2 balls and a strike.
A little gas up and in.
Cakes and Redbirds, high-scoring affair early. Memphis has scored in 3 of their 4 frames. New Orleans has scored in 2 of their first 3, and threatening here in the 4th.
That was a heater down and away. Pretty good pitch that Isan swung at and missed. About 92 miles an hour. Even to count.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2 delivery now to the batter, Isan Diaz. And the pitch, ground ball, hit to first. Going to be picked, throws to second for 1. Back to first, not going to be in time.
And a boy, good hustle. That's a nice play by the first baseman. He got it to second base. To the shortstop covering about as quick as you could. Diaz hit it pretty good on the right side there. It was a breaking ball.
Good call at first. Yeah, it's tough to turn a double play, and they nearly did. You know, had Diaz been slow out of the box, they probably would have turned the double play there.
Yeah, they did a good job with what they had to work with. Diaz just hustled down there and beat the wrap.
Throw over to first and back into the bag at first base is Isan Diaz. Austin Dean looking for a 2-out hit here. Redbirds had a big 2-out hit in the top of the inning. Scored a pair.
Right guy up there, you know, he's had some pretty hot streaks going. Yeah, like a 15 game hit streak, didn't he, earlier? Trying to think.
Yeah, the carryover from last year. 0-1 pitch, ground ball up the line. That's a foul ball. Yeah, he had a very lengthy hit streak.
A carryover, huh?
It was a carryover. They count that. His hit streak this year was 10, but he had like a hit in his last 4 or 5 last year, and that carries over in the big leagues as well too.
Well, this at-bat got tougher. He's 0-2 now, so Beggs can do whatever he Gomber can do whatever he wants to.
Nothing in 2 now with 2 down here to the hitter. And the 0-2 going to be swung on and fouled back, and we'll try it again now with the count being at no balls and 2 strikes.
Pretty good hack on a 2-0 fastball down and away by Austin Dean.
Nothing in 2 now to the hitter. And the 0-2 delivery. Another throw over to first.
Knock here would be good.
0-2 pitch.
Wow.
Gets a piece of this one to foul it off.
That was a curveball. Did he hit it on the hop? On the check swing hop? He wasn't holding up on a big curveball that was in the dirt, so. He got a piece of it, and it went foul, and that saves the at-bat.
Nothing in 2 now with 2 away.
Gives a good hitter another chance. That's all you want.
0-2 pitch now with 2 down, and it's going to be taken here for a ball. Take another look. He did.
Yeah, he did.
Fouled it off after it hit the ground.
Check swing. Well, we have a Guerrero on this roster.
We saw his uncle.
His uncle
hit one off the wall doing that.
That's unbelievable.
1-2 pitch, turned on it and ripped it deep down the left field line. Foul. I've seen Vladimir Guerrero, of course, hit one off the wall for Montreal, and I've seen Ichiro get a base hit.
Yeah, you know, those are very special hitters who can do that. You know, you're going to get fooled, but
I'm sure there's more that have done it, but those are two that I recall quickly.
I know I swung at a few of them in the dirt like that, and I never hit them. Ever.
1-2 pitch, got him. Swung on and struck him out. Another punch out and a huge at bat there for Gomber, and the inning is over. No runs, a couple of hits, a couple of men left. Our ball game is going to head to the fifth. It's a 5-3 ball game. This is Cakes baseball. Another dog day of summer. Not quite summer yet, but it's getting there here in New Orleans. Temperatures up in the 80s today. And every Thursday night, not only do they offer discounted beverages at the ballpark, you can bring your four-legged friend each and every Thursday throughout the season here at the Shrine on Airline. Edmundo Sosa will step in. He's 0 for 2 tonight. 5-3 Redbirds. Fly ball. Well hit right field. That ball's got some carry.
Nice.
Dean will run it down and make the catch at the track.
Well tagged.
So with one out here in the fifth, that brings up second baseman Ramon Urias.
He's 0 for 2 with a K and a pop-up to right field. Long run. That was a great play by the right fielder, Austin Dean.
Pitch going to be swung on and missed here for a strike. 0-1. No balls in a strike. Here's the 0-1 delivery now to the batter Urias, and the pitch is going to be swung on and missed.
Urias, and it's pronounced Urias.
1-1. And the 1-1 pitch going to be taken here for a ball. It's now 2 balls and a strike.
Urias.
Here's the 2-1. Sharply hit ball, and it's going to ricochet off the shortstop Marrero's glove. He reached to his backhand, and that ball was a hard hit ball. 109 mph off the bat. That's got to be a hit.
There's been some bullets.
It is going to be scored a base hit.
Yeah, he's just happy that ball was to his backhand where he didn't have to put his body in front of it. That was a widowmaker. That beats him on the backhand. That's not a fun play for Marrero.
Throw over to first. Diving back in. Yeah, when you hit 109.
Woo.
That's impressive.
Well, it's funny because Devin Marrero hit that ball that wounded the shortstop earlier in this series, so he gets one his way, and fortunately it's on his backhand where he really isn't going to get to it.
0-1 pitch, and that one quickly thrown down to first. One ball and one strike now with one away. 5-3 our score. Short lead off the bag at first base. Here's the pitch. Going to miss. Outside ball 2, and it's now 2 balls and a strike.
Austin Beggs working hard for the Baby Cakes. And It is fair to say there's been some balls put in play rather firmly tonight by the Memphis Redbirds.
Gomber's thrown 89 pitches. Dustin Beggs 68 pitches. 2-1 pitch. Fly ball right field. Hard shot into right. Catch is made by the right fielder, Dean. And there's 2 outs. So
got him pop it up.
So with 2 down, it brings up the right fielder, Adolis Garcia. Garcia, homer to left, popped up to the shortstop.
That's why they put those people out there with gloves on their hand to catch those.
Here's the pitch to Garcia, going to be taken here for a strike. 0-1. No balls and a strike. 0-1 now with 2 outs. Throw over to first. Diving back into the base. Nothing in 1 now with 2 away. The 0-1 pitch swung on and missed here for a strike. 0-2.
Took a little something off that breaking ball.
Making it 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here to the batter, Adolis Garcia. Runner going, 0-2 delivery, gonna miss up high, throw down to second base, got him.
Got him.
Throw him out. Caught stealing, 2-4. No runs, a hit, and nobody left. Bottom of the 5th coming up, 5-3 Memphis. This is Cakes Baseball. 5-3 our score. Ball game is going to move here into the home half of the 5th inning. Shrine on Airline here on a thirsty Thursday. Homestand continues tomorrow. Redbirds leave town, but we'll have the OKC Dodgers come rolling in. Oklahoma City. For the first of a 4-game series, it's a fireworks Friday. Pitch taken here for a strike here to the batter, Harold Ramirez.
Well, you'll have to explain this to me, Tim Grubbs. You got a hitter up there with 2 outs and a runner at first, and the hitter at home plate has 8 home runs this season, and he hit 1 earlier today, and you run yourself out of an inning trying to steal a base.
I have no explanation.
Now, I don't know if he got the steal or he's running on his own.
I would hope that he did it on his own, because if they actually gave him the steal sign, I would really question what would make you want to do that.
Now, you know, I know this is the minor leagues, and you want to see...
1-2 pitch going to be popped up left side. Shortstop Sosa backpedals and makes the catch for out number 1. You know, I understand in the minor leagues, you know, there are developmental things you do. There's things that you do where you might have to pitch a reliever 2 innings. You might have to, you know, do this or do that. You might want to bat a guy in a certain spot, even though you think he should bat somewhere else with the AAA team, because that's where he would bat in the big leagues. But I think stuff like that, you still should do what you would do in the major leagues. I don't see how you would change your thought process on that, but pitch is fouled off for strike 1. 5-3 Memphis here in the 5th.
That's what you're down here for, is to learn how to play the game of baseball.
1 missed inside here for a ball. Right. I mean, I get the development thing. I get why they do certain things.
Sure. Remember, we saw some pretty loose base running when Round Rock was here, and you know, they said they want him to run. And Keith Johnson, our manager, who, you know, made it very clear he wants, you know, early in the year, he wants guys going, he wants them taking some chances.
Well, I told you that, I mean, fly ball center field. Backpedaling is Thomas, and At the foot of the warning track, he makes the catch.
He
You
didn't
know,
miss.
we threw 5 guys out on the bases
Yeah.
in Round Rock last weekend. We have 10 outfield assists for the year. 5 of them in that series against Round Rock. 3 of those guys at the plate.
And I mean,
and
a
they
couple
were
of
out
them by a lot.
a couple of them by a lot, and one of them was in the 9th inning, down by 3, and I didn't understand why he sent him. But
Yeah,
it happens.
You know, I think you learn to run the bases right by running the bases right.
This one is going to be fouled off. Yeah, if you wait to the big leagues to start doing things the right way, you're not going to be in the big leagues very long.
I don't know.
The 0-1 pitch fouled off.
It's one of those things. I'm not sure I get the thinking there. That doesn't make the thinking wrong in me right, but I
Right.
don't get it.
0-1 pitch. Take it for a strike. My guess is that he did it on his own.
Yeah, I would bet that. Little action.
Gomber today has thrown 98 pitches, by the way, and their bullpen is warming up. He has not had a perfect inning, but he's retired the first 2 batters here in the 5th.
Ryan Meisinger, did I hear from
Is warming up.
from Dunkirk, Maryland? I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, Sparrows Point, and I don't know where Dunkirk is.
I know where Dunkirk, New York is.
I know where
On that.
Dunkirk, France is from
Dunkirk.
World War II, but
I know where Dundalk, Maryland is.
yes, you do, and that was our arch rival in high
It
school.
was? All right.
Where did you learn about Dundalk?
Well, we used to go to Ocean City, so we would drive through Maryland, and that was an
Yeah.
exit off of I-95.
Well, that's fine memory you have there.
Yep, 1-2 pitch going to be down in the dirt. Ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2-2. 2-2 now with 2 away. Devin Marrero at the plate. Dunkirk, New York is on the shores of Lake Erie.
Yeah.
Here's the 2-2. It's where the Bills used to train. Actually, it was the city next to it in Fredonia. Ground ball, third base. Up with it is retired. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. Ball game is going to head to the 6th. It is Memphis up by the score of 5-3. This is Cakes Baseball. 5-3 our score. Ball game moving into the 6th inning. Adolis Garcia will step in. We did look up where Dunkirk, Maryland is. We pulled it into the old Google machine. And
Google knows everything.
Yeah.
And
south of Bowie, which is the AA affiliate of the Orioles. The 1-0.
Sort of southern Maryland, not that far off the Chesapeake Bay down there. Patuxent River to the left and down low in Maryland.
2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0 delivery taken for a strike, and it's now 2-1 here to the batter, Adolis Garcia.
What would we do without Google?
We'd have to bring out the big maps.
Just wallow in
2-1
our
pitch.
own ignorance, that's all. Just wallow in our own ignorance.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
The answer to where is Dunkirk would be, I don't know.
I don't know. Somewhere in Maryland.
Just somewhere in Maryland.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
Not a part of the state that I spent any time with. I was a Baltimore County boy. That's
a little
further
ways
up.
from there, yeah.
Yeah, further up.
The 2-2 pitch.
Oh, just missed.
Dunkirk would be more of a, I don't know if it's quite a suburb because it's kind of far, but closer to D.C. than Baltimore.
Yeah, that's it. Closer to D.C. and
3-2 pitch going to be fouled
Virginia.
off. Adolis Garcia at the plate. We mentioned him. He was at the plate when the 5th inning ended, when it was Urias getting caught stealing.
One would suspect he gave himself the steal sign and ran out of an inning.
3 balls and 2 strikes now to the batter, Adolis Garcia. There's a sharply hit ball up the third base line, foul.
It rolled all the way out into left field after it caromed off the facing of the stands on the left side.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch, ground ball up the middle. Backhanded by the second baseman. No, it's underneath the glove and into center field. It's gonna be
Long run for Isan Diaz. I doubt very much if he had any chance of throwing
I think
him
if
out
he
from
fields the ball, he doesn't throw him out anyway.
there. I just can't imagine that he would. That ball. It's funny, you would never, in the old days, yeah, there were some overshifts. I remember occasionally getting an overshift from a manager. Second, with nobody on, the second baseman might swing around a little bit when I was more of a pull hitter.
One ball and no strikes. 1-0 now to the better, Ravelo. One ball and no strikes now to the hitter, Raniel Ravelo. Runner going, and the pitch is going to be a strike. Holiday caught it and was ready to make a throw, and then I think he lost control of the ball.
I think he just didn't make a good exchange. Lost the grip on it, and rather than throw something wobbly down there, it's a stolen base. Second stolen base of the year for Garcia. He's been thrown out once.
1-1, check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did.
Yep.
Strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to the hitter, Raniel Ravelo. 1-2 now to the batter. Short lead off the bag at second base. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and struck him out. That's a K of Ravelo for out number 1. 5-3 our score. Lane Thomas steps in, singled and drove in a run, lined out to center. Steps into the batter's box here with a runner at second. And the runner now stuck, and Beggs is going to sprint right after him, and now they're going to get him in a rundown. And he's tagged out. So it goes caught stealing, pickoff, 1-4-5. 2 outs. Nice job by Beggs there.
He did. He was eyeballing him. That's a heads-up play.
And you got to be careful that you do the right thing, that you don't make a balk move there.
Yep.
As you see the herky-jerkiness. That's why sometimes these base runners do stuff to try to force the balk. Ground ball hit towards the hole. Fielded by Marrero, but will not have a throw, and that'll be a base hit in the hole.
So Garcia was up there when Urias ran him out of an inning, and Adolis Garcia with Thomas Lane at the plate, Lane Thomas at the plate, runs him out of a chance to drive in a run.
Here's Max Schrock.
Yeah, that.
Schrock will step in. Runner at first base and 2 down. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be a line drive down the left field line into the bullpen area. Foul.
8 hits for Memphis, and we're only in the 6th inning. . 8 hits, 5 runs. 7 hits, 3 runs for the Baby Cakes.
Here's the 0-1. Now throw over to first. And back into the bag. Over at first is going to be the runner, and that is Thomas. Here's the 0-1. And it's going to be taken here for a ball, and it's now 1 ball and 1 strike now with 2 away now to the hitter, Schrock. 5-3 Redbirds. Nobody warming up yet in the New Orleans bullpen. Beggs has kept his pitch count down. Throw over to first base.
Ooh, close. Interesting, in the outfield, they play Schrock around to left field.
One ball and 1 strike. And the pitch going to be swung on and fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to the hitter. 1 and 2 now with 2 away.
Interesting. Look where they're arrayed around here. Isan Diaz, they have an overshift on the infield and play him around the left field in the outfield. So that's pretty interesting. I guess that's what what the pie chart says, is that if he hits it up in the air, he's behind the ball a little bit. He's not pulling it.
2-2 pitch. Sharply hit ball, and it just does get past the first baseman, O'Brien, and into the right field corner. Lane Thomas is going to score all the way from first, and on his way to second base is going to be Max Schrock. 101 mile an hour off the bat. It's an RBI double, and Memphis will add another run and lead 6-3.
And that is the problem when you're pulled around towards left field. The right fielder was playing way the heck out in right center field, so he had a long run down in the corner.
Probable pinch hitter has stepped on deck for Memphis, number 43.
So here's Joe Hudson.
Joe's been an extra base hit, or maybe even a home run, looking for a place to happen.
Hudson will step in, and the pitch is going to be taken here for a ball. It's now 1-0.
No action in the Baby Cakes pen.
1 ball and no strikes. The 1-0. Ground ball through the right side into right field. Base hit. They're going to send the runner. And because Dean did not field it cleanly in right field, Schrock will score. It was a bold move to send him there, and it works for Memphis.
Base hit and an RBI.
So it's a base hit and an RBI, and the runs pile on.
Well, Schrock can run a little bit, and Dean is he's fielded his position tonight on fly balls pretty good, or balls up in the air. He's still a little questionable on balls on the ground.
Yeah.
And his arm would not be something.
He's not a standard right field arm, and I think he knew he had to make a good throw there. And he was thinking about making the throw, and he didn't pick the
Now throwing in the bullpen for New
pick
Orleans,
it clean.
24, Brian Moran.
0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch here to the batter, Tommy Edman, and the pitch is going to be inside here for a ball. It's now 1-1. One and one now with 2 away. Brian Moran warming up in the New Orleans bullpen. Edman pinch hitting here as Gomber's night is over. Left-handed batting pinch hitter. Squares to bunt, and he's going to push it up the third base line, and the inning continues as it'll be a bunt base hit. You put the shift on him, he made him pay.
Why not?
I don't understand why people don't do it more often.
Nor I. I mean, you just put runners at second and third. You got a big lead in a ball game. Keep it going. Now you make the pitcher, the manager make a move.
It's probably going to be it for Beggs, I would assume.
Yep.
As the pitch count getting up there, as he's now thrown 94 pitches. He's cloned 25, 26 pitches in the inning. That will make a pitching change. So Moran will come in. Cakes trail at 7-3. Pitching change coming up. 7-3 Redbirds. Quick timeout. This is Cakes Baseball. New pitcher coming in is Moran, as Beggs' night is over. He went 5 2/3. 11 hits tonight. Walked 1 and struck out 3. 94 pitches, 55 for strikes. Moran is the new pitcher. He comes in inheriting 2 runners and trailing 7-3. Edmundo Sosa, 7th batter to bat in the inning. And the pitch here from Moran is going to be taken here for ball 1. 8th appearance, no record, an 8.10 earned run average. 10 innings pitched, he's allowed 9 runs on 14 hits.
Little sidearm submarine and left-hander.
Ground ball ricochets off Moran. It's going to be fielded by the shortstop, and it's going to end up being an infield hit. We just can't catch a break this inning.
No, really. I'm wondering if that's, I don't know if that gets up the middle or not. It's hard to tell, but Moran stuck his leg out and ricocheted the thing over to the shortstop, who made the only play he had. Marrero throws it to first, but the runner is safe. So the bags are juiced after that 2-out bunt when they overshifted.
It wasn't hit all that hard. I feel like Diaz would have been able to get to it and step on second to end the inning. I don't know that for sure. Like, as you mentioned, it could have possibly got up the... It seems like him kick-saving it or ricocheting it created the hit. Here's Urias. Popped up. Foul ground on the run.
Nice
First baseman Dean is there to make the catch.
Wow.
And the inning is over. In the inning, though, 2 runs come in on the benefit of 6 hits, and they leave 3. Ball game is going to head to the bottom of inning number 6. New Orleans finds themselves trailing now 7-3. This is Cakes Baseball. New pitcher coming in for Memphis, Ryan Meisinger, right-hander from Maryland. Gomber went 5 innings tonight, allows 7 hits, 3 runs, earned runs, walked 3, struck out 7. He leaves the ball game as the pitcher record on the winning side, as Memphis leads it now 7-3. Here's Yadier Rivera, who will step into the batter's box. And Rivera takes the pitch here for a strike.
Meisinger, 6'4", 235. He was drafted in the 11th round in 2015 by Baltimore. The Orioles, so they drafted a Maryland boy from Prince Frederick. I guess that's the county.
2 balls and a strike now to the batter, Yadier Rivera. And the 2-1 swung on and missed here for a strike, and it's now 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to the batter, Yadier Rivera.
He's got a fastball, 90 to 92. A little slider and a changeup behind that.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Here to the batter, Yadier Rivera. 7-3 our score. Here's the pitch. And it's going to be inside, ball 4. So Meisinger's first batter is the number 7 batter, Rivera, and he draws the walk. Holiday, the catcher, will step up.
Probable pinch hitter on deck for New Orleans is number 33, Matt Snyder.
Bullpen for New Orleans gets going again with Rivera getting on to lead off the inning. Holiday comes up, who's been on base twice today. Manager Keith Johnson has to be thinking, I could go to the bench with the pitcher coming up next, Paul Moran, and Snyder has already moved into the on-deck circle. The 1-0 swung on and missed here for a strike. 1-1.
Now throwing in the bullpen for New Orleans, number 39, Dylan Lee.
Dylan Lee begins to warm up in the pen. Here's the 1-1. Going to be taken here for a strike, and it's now a ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 now to the batter, Brian Holiday. 7-3 our score. Throw over to first. Back into the bag is Rivera. 1-2 now to the batter, Holiday. 1-2 pitch swung on and a fly ball into right. On the run is going to be the right fielder, Adolis Garcia. A long way to run, will make the catch. Snyder is on his approach. He'll bat. So Matt Snyder makes his way to the plate. Short lead off the bag at first base is Rivera. Here's Snyder at the plate and a runner at first. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be taken here for a strike, 0-1. No balls and a strike. And the 0-1 pitch taken here for a ball. It's now 1 ball and 1 strike now with 1 away. Throw over to first.
When you brought Moran in with 2 outs in the top of the 5th, you could have
double swapped.
Could have done that, but they might have just wanted him to get that, get that exposure and
1-1, fouled off. You know, the bullpen lately has not been overtaxed. Last night you had Keller and Quijada, Brigham, Eveld, and Alvarez, Kickham and Alvarez. So yeah, you're looking.
You're not stretched there.
Yeah.
Starting pitching's been amazing. I mean, if you look at a real strength of this team, the starting pitching on this team is 2nd in the league there.
1-2 pitch, line drive into right field. It'll be a base hit. Snyder gets himself another hit. This is a pinch hit single into right.
That's an 11-game hit streak now, and he did it as a pinch hitter.
So Snyder continues his good hitting. That might have been his only at bat of the day, and he had 10-game hit streak on the line, and bang, make it 11.
Obviously not worried about that. He's worried about his at-bat, and here's the top of the order.
Here's the top of the order, and Monty Harrison, who's got 2 hits. Ground ball hit to short, flips to second for 1, on to first, and he makes him pull off the bag, and Harrison will be safe. Well, they had to really hurry that. And Harrison, who really can run, he got to hurry up the double play, and well, because he did hurry it up, threw it a little offline.
Yeah, he had afterburners on there and caused him to hurry it up. First and third now with 2 outs. So
here's Isan Diaz.
base hit here would help.
score.
You know, keep getting some runs. I mean, this thing isn't. This thing's a long way from abandoned.
Yeah, you're down by 4. If you get a double here, it could be back to a 2-run game.
They're playing back for no doubles in the outfield, but you hit it up against the wall there with 2 outs. You got some speed on first base. He will score.
Yep, Monty would be running on contact with 2 outs. 2 balls and no strikes here to the batter, Diaz.
Or just hit it in the swimming pool.
And it'd be a 1-run game.
I always say that, you know. It's like, hit it in the pool.
2 balls and no strikes.
Got to poke it. The wind's a little bit blowing in from right, but not terribly robust. The wind just calm. A little bit of a breeze. I wouldn't even call it that.
2-0 pitch swung on and missed here for a strike. 2-1. 2-1 now with 2 outs. Ball game here in the 6th. Runners at first and third. The 2-1 going to be popped up, foul ground.
Ooh, get out of here.
Into the seats, and we'll try it again now with the count being evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and 2 now with 2 away. Cakes find themselves here down by 4. 2-2 pitch and a delayed steal, and he's going to get in there.
Nice.
So Harrison steals second base.
Now, just hit a little bleeder through the infield, and you got yourselves a whole new game here.
3 balls and 2 strikes now with 2 outs. And a 3-2, and he walked him. So Diaz will draw the walk. 2 outs. It's going to bring to the plate Austin Dean.
Well, here's what I always feel when a good hitter like Austin Dean is had a couple of bad-looking at-bats, struck out his last 2 times, walked his first time up, but he's going to get a hit, and he's going to get some hits. And every time he makes out, it's going to move him that much closer to a hot streak.
They're going to get a visit here.
So with 2 outs and the bases loaded, I'm just saying,
Quick visit to the mound.
Austin Dean is due. It's going to happen at some point in time. Boy, wouldn't it be nice if this was that point in time.
This would be a huge at-bat. You know, You're down by 4. You got the bases loaded here in the 6th inning. Chris Beck is up again in the bullpen, warming up for Memphis. And the pitch taken here for a strike. 0-1 now with 2 away.
Little slider he took, get me over breaking ball, more or less.
A 1 pitch swung out and missed here for strike 2, and it's now 0-2.
Another slider, he kind of pulled off it a little bit. He does appear to me to be kind of coming off the ball a little bit, and the adjustment he has to make is
0-2 pitch struck him out, and the inning is over. New Orleans threatens big time in the inning. They end up getting no runs, 1 hit, couple of walks, and they leave them loaded. 6 in the books tonight from the Shrine on Airline. Ball game is going to head to the 7th. 7-3 our score. Memphis out in front. This is Cakes Baseball. Cakes miss out on an opportunity in the bottom of the 6th. You load the bases. Here's a swing and a fly ball into center. Center fielder is there, and Harrison to make the catch. And Nagowski quickly retired for out number 1. So 1 away here in the 7th. New Orleans finds themselves trailing here 7-3. Dylan Lee is your new pitcher. Fly ball, well hit, left center field. This one's going to run to the wall. Extra bases. And it's a double here for Garcia. So Adolis Garcia gets himself an extra bases.
he's a triple away from the circuit.
Here comes Rangel Ravelo. Will step into the batter's box. 7-3 the score. Short lead off the bag at second base. Dylan Lee in his first inning of relief. Pickoff play back to second. Ball is into center field. And that's going to be an error. Well, breaking news tonight outside of baseball. The Washington Nationals fire their pitching coach, Derek Lilliquist. Shaking things up for a Nats team that is struggled at the start of the season.
Well, this is early in the campaign, isn't it, to pull that trigger?
Yeah, well, their manager has been on the hot seat. A lot of people think he was the guy that was going to get fired today, and I still wouldn't put it past him that he could be gone in a few days. Pitch taken here for a ball. 1-0. Infield in after the double and the throwing error. The 1-0 pitch going to miss inside, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
A couple of breaking balls from Lee's. Fastball, curveball. I don't know. I think he throws a changeup also.
2-0 pitch. Lee delivers, sharply hit ball, and that one scorched right past the third baseman Rivera. And into left field. Garcia will score. Ravelo's aboard. Well, that was a smoking shot past the third baseman Rivera. That was another very hard hit ball. You're talking solid contact.
Yeah, and, you know, since Lee came up from Double-A, he's been giving up hits and runs. since coming back to AAA.
Here's the pitch here to Lane Thomas, and it's taken here for a strike, 0-1. No balls and a strike now with one away.
I thought his stuff was a little sharper last year when I saw him, when he moved from high A to double A to us.
A one pitch going to be popped up, foul territory, into the seats about 2 rows deep. We'll try it again with the count being 0-2, no balls and 2 strikes.
Fastball in the low 90s.
0-2 now with 1 away. It's an 8-3 ball game. For Memphis, 8 runs on 14 hits. For New Orleans, 3 runs on 8 hits and 1 error. 0-2 now with 1 away, and the 0-2 pitch is going to be up and away now for a ball. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 now with 1 out. Short lead off the bag at first base. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Misses. Down low, ball 2. It's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2. Two and 2. Two balls and 2 strikes now with 1 out. Here's Dylan Lee. Delivers. It's going to be popped up, foul territory. O'Brien giving a chase, but it's going to land in the seats about a row deep. Try it again now with the count being at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and 2 now with 1 out. Lane Thomas is at the plate. Dylan Lee comes set. Delivers, ground ball hit to short. Flips to second for 1. Back to first.
No.
Not going to be in time. Really hustling up the line is Thomas to avoid the inning-ending double play ball.
Now batting for Memphis, third baseman, number 3, Max Schrock.
So that'll bring to the plate Max Schrock.
The run is now earned.
It is an earned run, by the way. Had that been a double play, the run goes to unearned.
Yes.
So if you're Dylan Lee, you were really rooting for that one.
Yes. Good
Pitch.
curveball to start Schrock off.
Taken here for strike, 0-1. No balls and 1 strike now with 2 outs. The 0-1 delivery, swung on and fouled back, 0-2, and it's now no balls and 2 strikes now with 2 away now to the hitter, Schrock.
Dylan Lee, a 10th round pick in 2016 by the Miami Marlins out of Fresno State.
He bursted on the scene last year and was just tremendous.
He looked pretty good. I thought he showed me something. Tough guy, doesn't have a lot to say.
I was very impressed with his work last August. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
If it's not happening for him, it's not because he's afraid. This guy's tough.
1-2 delivery. Swung on and struck him out. A punch out and the inning is over. Redbirds are going to add a run in the inning. So our ball game is going to go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It is The Memphis Redbirds out in front, 8-3. This is Cakes Baseball. Memphis adds a run in the top of the 7th. Folks settling into their seats here on a thirsty Thursday. We got the dogs out at the ballpark here tonight. Pleasant evening for baseball. Memphis is going to dip into the bullpen once again as the Redbirds will turn to the left-hander Hunter Cervenka. Meisinger today works 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, walked 2. He struck out 1. Here's Harold Ramirez.
Here's Cervenka, who's fastball. We saw him, and he did some good work for us along the way.
Here's the pitch, going to be popped up, fouled off first base side into the seats.
Some
1-1 now to the batter, Harold Ramirez. 0 for 3 tonight. Ramirez is swinging the bat well coming in. 7 for his last 15. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and missed here for a strike. 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes. The left-hander Cervenka this season, 10th appearance, 1 win, 1 loss, has an earned run average of 3. He's allowed 6 hits in 9 innings worked. This one is going to be belted down the third base line. It's going to be an extra base hit for Ramirez, as Harold Ramirez has got himself another double. I tell you, he's a double machine. He's into double figures, his 10th double of the year, as he turned on that pitch from Cervenka and smoked it down the third base line.
Cervenka, Baytown, Texas boy. He's been here a couple of times. He was here in 2016 for a couple of games. And then he was on both Atlanta and Miami, pitched a whole bunch of games in the big leagues, then came here back in 2017, pitched 44 games for us.
There's Peter O'Brien who will step in. O'Brien is singled, homered, and fly to center. O'Brien stepping in, and the pitch is going to be taken here for ball 1.
Fastball, low to mid-90s with a cutter. And he'll cut that fastball with a curveball and a change.
8-3 our score. Here's the 1 ball, no strike pitch here from the left-hander. And now Ramirez dancing around off the bag at second, and the pitch is going to be taken here for a strike.
Pretty good breaking ball there.
1-1. Ball and a strike now to the batter, Peter O'Brien. Left-hander facing the right-handed batter.
O'Brien owns all 3 RBIs for the Baby Cakes.
Yes, he does. He's had the RBI single back in the first, the 2-run homer in the third. We've had some opportunities in this ball game for sure. It's a New Orleans team that is 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position, have left 9 men on. Early in the series, we talked about how Memphis was leaving everybody on base. They could not get the key hit. Now that's kind of swung the Cakes' way here tonight. The 2-1 pitch missing low and inside for a ball. It's now 3-1.
Yeah, and I really think the fact that Memphis was getting shut out in those run-scoring situations with runners in scoring position was because the Baby Cakes pitchers in the first 2 games really made some great location, great pitches in those situations and got outs. It wasn't the ball flying all over the ballpark and finding gloves. It was outs.
3-1 now to the batter, O'Brien, and a big swing and a miss here for the right-handed batter, and it's a full count, 3-2.
That's 95-mile-an-hour heater, Cervenka. That's close to top end for him. Up in the zone, and Peter didn't find it.
3 balls and 2 strikes now to the batter, O'Brien. Short lead off the bag at first. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and he walks him. So the inning opened with a double. Now you get O'Brien working a full count and eventually the walk. And it brings to the plate the shortstop, Marrero. Well, I mentioned we've had opportunities today, and yeah, you're down by 5, but here you are again with 2 men on and nobody out. They've left 9 on in the ball game.
Yeah, you're down here at the low end of your order. Marrero's been on the hot side.
0 for 2 tonight with a walk. Marrero taking the pitch down low here for a ball. It's now 1-0 now to the batter, Devin Marrero. One ball and no strikes now to the hitter. Here's the 1-0 pitch, gonna be low and inside, ball 2, and it's now 2 balls and no strikes now to the hitter, Marrero. 8-3 our score. This is first of 4 series this year with the Redbirds. Memphis will be back here. In fact, the Redbirds will be here for the final games of the season here this year. We don't go up there. I don't think we go up there until July.
And I guess you just see them, what, once?
We play them 16 times.
You play them at the beginning of July and the end of July
Yeah.
at their place, yeah.
Yeah, we're there
Oh, my.
quickly.
How is that a strike?
Yeah, that one was called. 3 balls and a strike.
Mercy. I thought one of those first 2 had a chance of being something. Not
Here's the
that one.
3-1 pitch here to the batter, Marrero. 8-3 our score. And the 3-1 delivery, and he walks him.
Wow.
So the bases are loaded.
Well,
And it brings to the plate the third baseman, Yadier Rivera. Well, they're going to have to stir up the bullpen because Cervenka's come into this ball game, has faced 3 guys, and 3 guys are on base. And now here comes the pitching coach, Dernier.
well, he's had 6 walks before tonight in 9 innings of work. That is never a good thing, and he's come in here and walked number 7 and number 8, and he has yet to get an out. So he's got 8 walks in 9 innings. That's he's been close. It's not like he's missing by a lot.
Yeah, so you got the bases loaded. You got Yadier Rivera coming up, the number 7 batter. Then you would have Holiday and then the pitcher spot. Now New Orleans quickly going to get the bullpen ready.
Is that Brigham? Who is it?
I think so. Yep, Jeff Brigham. So yeah, you're starting to think, okay, if this inning continues to unravel for Memphis, we're going to need to use a pinch hitter. This might be our shot to get back into this ball game.
Turn it into something here if you
Yeah.
knock one up the gap or just drive in a couple.
Rivera takes the pitch low and inside. Ball 1.
Now throwing in the bullpen for New Orleans.
Well, you got to believe if
Jeff Brigham.
If Cervenka walks him, I think he's done.
I would agree. I don't think you give the guy much more if you have loaded the bases and have not retired a batter in a game you're up by 5. In a game you're up by 5, you can give him a little bit more leeway.
Yeah.
But you don't want to swing momentum. And here's the 1-0. And here's the pitch. It's going to come flying back up here towards the upper deck. And it's now 1 ball and 1 strike now to the hitter. One and one now to the batter. Runners at first, second, and third. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed here for a strike, and it's now a ball and 2 strikes. Cakes trailing at 8-3. Our ball game here in the 7th inning. Now you got Rivera with a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Lefty pitcher against the right-handed hitter. And the 1-2 sets and delivers and gets a strikeout.
Nice.
So Rivera will strike out.
I think that was that little cutter that he got down and in. Now, he made quality pitches there.
90 mile an hour on that one.
With a little movement towards your hands, that's a tough pitch to hit, and it gives him an out and a chance to roll him over and get out of here.
Pitcher spot 2 up next. Gabriel Guerrero has moved into the on-deck circle. Holiday will step into the batter's box. And Brian Holiday takes the first pitch here for a ball. 1-0.
Cervenka's never been a guy who's given up a lot of home runs.
It's a 5-run ball game at the moment. Memphis is up 8-3. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Not close as he misses high and away. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes now with 1 away. Two balls and no strikes now with 1 out. Ball game here in the 7th. Here's the 2-0 pitch.
Oh.
Fastball 91,
Ooh.
and it's a big swing and a miss for a strike.
Nasty. Well, you're looking fastball, and it's up, but it's up and in. That's really tough. That's a nasty 2-0 fastball on your hands upstairs.
8-3 Redbirds, 2-1 pitch. Popped him up. This is on the infield. It'll be the second baseman coming in. Urias will make the catch behind the pitcher's mound for the second out of the inning. So with 2 down, we're going to use our second pinch hitter of the day, Gabriel Guerrero. It was a pinch hit single earlier from Matt Snyder. So Guerrero will bat for Dylan Lee. 8-3 our score. 2 outs here in the 7th. And the pitch, breaking ball up high, ball 1.
This is always that time when you get to that last out, you're pitched out of all this trouble. You know, and he's been behind everybody all night, Cervenka, but you know what? The pitches he's made for strikes have been quality pitches.
The 1-0. Pitch up, and that's taken for a strike. Count evens now at 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 now to the batter, Guerrero. Runner at third is Ramirez. He doubled to start the inning. Back-to-back walks to O'Brien and to Marrero. The 1-1. Guerrero will pop it up. Foul territory. This one will reach the seats. 3 rows in. Try it again now with the count being at a ball and 2 strikes. One and 2 now with 2 outs. Runners at first, second, and third base. Guerrero will step in, knock his bat against the plate. Cervenka ahead in the count this time at a ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2, low and inside. It's a wild pitch. Cakes are going to get a run out of it. Sprinting home from third base is Ramirez. Everybody moves up 90 feet. O'Brien to third, Marrero to second. Oh, that ball.
That just ate up the catcher.
So we get a run here in the 7th to answer the run Memphis scored in the top of the inning, and it's an 8-4 game.
Most runs we've scored in this series.
2 balls and 2 strikes here, and the 2-2. Guerrero fights it off and fouls it off.
Yeah, that was a tough fastball, and he had a pretty good hack at it. So.
Eight 4. Bullpen ready for New Orleans as Guerrero pinch hitting here in this 7th inning. Here's the 2-ball, 2-strike pitch. Cervenka's first appearance of the series, and here's a fly ball. Well hit center field. Lane Thomas heading back, warning track, and at the wall. Did he make the catch? He did. He makes the catch at the wall, and there it is.
Wow.
I thought it was going to be a 3-run home run. Instead, Lane Thomas robbed him, and he laid down for a moment as he bails out Hunter Cervenka and the Redbirds. Our ball game heads to the 8th. 8-4 Memphis with the lead. This is Cakes Baseball. Well, Gabriel Guerrero just missed getting it out. We're going to have a chance to take a look at the replay as this one was hit 398 feet to straightaway center, and it would not have been a home run.
No.
Had Thomas not caught it, it would have been off the wall. But
right.
What a tremendous catch by the center fielder, Lane Thomas, 23 years of age, and man, that's as good as a catch you're going to get.
It really was, and we would have been in a whole lot better shape there.
Absolutely. That would have emptied the bases. That would have been O'Brien and Marrero in for sure. And it probably ends up getting Guerrero at second or third, depending on how the carom came off. And we would have been sitting pretty. Instead, you're down by 4. Ball game goes into the 8th. New Orleans will dip into the pen one more time. And it's Jeff Brigham for the second time since coming off the injured list. Skies this one into center. Center fielder Monty Harrison is there. And Hudson, who leads the club tonight with 4 RBI, retired for out number 1.
Yeah, Brigham, who before this season has mostly been a starter, had a little back problem and kept him out of there, and he was on the shelf for a little bit, but fastball can sneak into the mid-90s. He's got a slider, curveball change to go with it. It's good stuff.
Here's Drew Robinson, who will step in. And Robinson takes the pitch here for a strike. Robinson to pinch hit here for the pitcher. So 0-1 here to the batter, Drew Robinson. And the pitch going to be taken here for a strike, 0-2.
Back up in the Memphis bullpen, number 47, Chris Beck.
No balls and 2 strikes. Chris Beck was warming up earlier. He's back up in the pen. 1 ball and 2 strikes now with 1 away. And the 1-2 delivery
Whoa!
came in and hard, 95 miles an hour. And Drew Robinson had to dance out of the way of that one.
Yeah, and it does appear, we talked about this the last time we saw Jeff Brigham on the mound, that coming out of the bullpen generally gives guys a little more bounce, a little more gas on their fastball.
2-2. Swung on and fouled back. We'll try it again. Count being evened at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cakes and Redbirds, 4th and final game of the series. Memphis is out in front 8-4.
It does look like something Jeff Brigham can do, though, coming out of the pen.
2-2 pitch. He feels great. I talked to him earlier today saying that he is feeling real strong and ready to go.
And it looks like it. His stuff's coming off his hand pretty good.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Cakes took the first 2 games of the series. Redbirds win last night. And the 2-2 pitch up and away, ball 3. Last night we made a few mistakes that led to the Redbird win. Today it's been just some missed opportunities on our offensive end. I feel like the game should be closer. Ground ball right side. Diaz throws to first and the ball was dropped.
Peter O'Brien just came off of that throw in a way that he never got it in the glove. That was a good throw.
He's setting up.
He
And
just missed
dropped it.
He just missed it.
So credit and assist for Diaz. Missed catch, E3. Second error of the ball game for New Orleans.
Yep.
Here's Edmundo Sosa, who will step in.
Wow.
Ground ball right side.
Academic.
Diaz flips to second for 1. Back to first. Erase the error as it is a inning-ending 4-6-3 twin killing. Very nice. And we have played 7.5 from the Shrine. Redbirds have a 4-run lead. Cakes got to get the offense going. Ball game goes to the bottom of the 8th. Redbirds will go to the pen again. This is Cakes baseball. Back at the ballpark, ball game moves into the home half of the 8th inning. New pitcher coming in for Memphis, Chris Beck. Second appearance of the series. Cervenka's gone. He pitched 1 inning, allowed 1 run on 1 hit, walked 2, struck out 1. He threw 29 pitches. 15 of those were for strikes. So Beck comes in out of the bullpen, the 28-year-old from Buford, Georgia. A lot of big league time, 6'3", 230-pounder. Mentioned we saw him last night, 0-1 with a 5.68 ERA, appearing in his 8th game of the season for Memphis. Here's Monty Harris.
Yeah, he had an inning, a hit, nothing else. Gave up no runs. Pretty good stuff. Fastball into the mid-90s, 95 top end with a slider curveball change.
Line shot, center field, charging in a hurry is the center fielder, and he makes a sitting catch for the out. So not only did Lane Thomas rob Guerrero of extra bases, he now robs Harrison of a single on back-to-back defensive plays. Wow.
That looked like a base hit, but...
yeah, that's 2 blue stars in a row for Lane Thomas.
Yep.
Noting that in my book, when there's a great defensive play, you
Got that little blue ink.
blue ink
star.
comes out to
Comes out.
pitch.
Got everything color-coded.
Yep, everything is.
You do it in pen, I would have no chance in pen.
Well, I do have my correction tape here.
Uh-huh. Good
Nothing in
idea.
one.
Huh?
But yes, everything is in different colors. 0-1 pitch, ground ball, first base. Up with it is Nikowski, who fields it. 2 up, 2 out. This will bring up number 9, Austin Dean. Dean's had a tough game. He has struck out 3 times. He's left some men on today. He's also reached on a walk. Be nice to get him going here in this 8th inning.
Well,
He's left 6 men on today.
if Cervenka was a little wild, think about it. He's sat this whole series. This was the first time we've seen him, so first time he's thrown.
The pitch to Dean, swung on and missed here for a strike. 0-1. No balls and a strike now with 2 down. 8-4 Redbirds. Memphis will continue their long road trip tomorrow in the Music City of Nashville. A road trip that is 3 cities, 14 days in length. Omaha,
Wow.
New Orleans, Nashville. Not even cities that geographically you would think, if you're going to do a long road trip, that you would put that together. The 1-1. Then they'll return home. We will be home again tomorrow night as we welcome in Oklahoma City. The Dodgers.
The
2 balls and
Oklahoma
a
City
strike.
Dodgers always feels
I'm getting used to it.
manufactured, but it's their team. The
Yeah.
Dodgers own them, or one of their
They are part owner.
part owners
But
of it.
still,
one
yeah,
of their
They're one of the owners, yeah. 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1 pitch. The Cardinals are part owners of Memphis.
Oh.
And that is becoming more and more of a trend of the major league teams having a piece. I think it's smart to do it.
They have
because
the money.
if you think about it, how much it is to buy a AAA team is the price of a middle reliever for a major league.
Right, and
And then you can have control over the field, over the clubhouse operations.
everything.
And you probably don't care about much else. Let the local owners and operators handle the promote. You know, you
Yeah.
just need to, you have your hand in the player-related stuff. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
There's so much money in baseball.
Sure.
You might as well put it somewhere. And there's a little money to be made if you hang in there and have a decent operation.
And the way player development is so important, I think it's great. 3-2 pitch, swung on and struck him out. A tough night here for Dean as he punches out in the inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. Our ball game has played 8 here on a thirsty Thursday at the Shrine. It's Memphis out in front of New Orleans. Our score, 8-4. This is Cakes Baseball.
Final line on Brigham. 1 inning pitch, no hits, no runs, no walks, strikeout.
New pitcher, Tommy Eveld, comes out of the pen. We're in the 9th. 8-4 Redbirds. Ramon Urias will step into the batter's box. He's 1 for 4 tonight. For Memphis today, 8 runs on 14 hits. For New Orleans, 4 runs on 9 hits. 2 error. The pitch swung on and missed. 0-1. Now to the hitter, Ramon Urias.
Eveld's fastball can sneak up there close to the mid-90s.
A 1 pitch popped him up into right. Right fielder Dean gets underneath it, and he makes the catch for the out.
And a slider behind that. I noticed there's a changeup he's been working on, but I don't know that he ready to unveil that in game action as yet.
Here's Nagowski, who steps in. Brigham worked an inning. Gave up nothing.
Nagowski originally drafted by the Oakland A's.
2-7-3.
And they sort of gave up on him. And the Cardinals signed him, and he's been a good get for them.
1-0 pitch, grounded up the line, third base side, foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 now with 1 away. New Orleans taking on Memphis here tonight. Ball game in the 9th. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Going to be taken here for a strike, and it's now a ball and 2 strikes.
Last time out, Evald gave up a hit in a clean, an inning that was clean. Other than that, no runs, 3 strikeouts.
1-2 pitch going to miss up high.
He's going to strike some guys out. He's got a good hard breaking ball.
2 balls and 2 strikes now, with 1 away now to the batter, John Nagowski. Here's the 2-2, ground ball right side. Diaz scoops it up, and Isan will toss it on to first base.
Now the bullpen for Memphis, number 21, Chris Ellis.
So with 2 outs, bases empty, it brings up Adolis Garcia. Garcia's homered tonight. He has singled and doubled. Officially 3 for 4, raising his average to 250 for the year. Chris Ellis warming up in the Redbird pen. It will not be a save opportunity as Memphis leads this contest by 4 runs, 8-4. 1 ball and no strikes now with 2 away. And the 1-0 going to miss outside, ball 2, and it's now 2-0. Two balls, no strikes, 2 outs. The 2-0 pitch missing away here for ball 3, and it's now 3 balls and no strikes. 3-0 now with 2 away. Here to the batter, Adolis Garcia. 3-0 pitch, swung on, and a fly ball down the first base line, foul.
There's a 3-0 fastball that he threw by him.
Making it 3 balls and 1 strike.
That's pretty interesting.
3-1 now with 2 outs. 3-1 pitch, swung on and missed for strike 2.
Yeah, it was up and in, and he really didn't want to offer, but it is funny. It is such a small increment of time when you have to decide what you're going to do with it.
Ground ball, third, up with it, Rivera, across the diamond in time, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. Last chance for New Orleans. Trail it by 4. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Cakes trailing Memphis 8-4. This is Cakes baseball. Chris Ellis coming in out of the bullpen for Memphis. Redbirds lead it by 4, looking for a split in the series. Stepping in is going to be the New Orleans left fielder, Harold Ramirez. Thanks for joining us at the ballpark tonight as the Cakes trailing by 4. We welcome in OKC tomorrow for a 4-game set. Fireworks Friday, 7 p.m. first pitch. Zach Gallen gets the ball tomorrow. Fly ball, center field. And the first pitch from Chris Ellis, a long fly into center. And Ramirez is retired. This will bring up Pete O'Brien. Oh, the New Orleans first baseman. He'll step in. Right-handed batter. There's the pitch to O'Brien. He dropped one in the small pool in right field back in the 3rd inning of this ball game.
He did indeed, as Ellis, 94 mile an hour tops on his fastball, curveball slider change behind that.
A one-pitch ground ball, third base. Up with it is the third baseman. Long throw across the diamond in time for the putout. 2 up and 2 down.
Nice scoop by the first baseman, Nagowski.
So with 2 down, it brings up Devin Marrero. Ground ball hit towards third. Third baseman is up with it. Long throw across the diamond. Not a good throw at all. In fact, the last 2 throws of the inning by Schrock, both were bad, but good enough that Nagowski could make the catch and make the out. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. The Redbirds storm back in the series after trailing 2 games to none. They rally and win this ball game 8-4. Now you had to feel after the first 2 games of the series when they failed to get a big hit. They were 0 for the first 21, that they were due for some big hits and some breaks. Well, they got some, and they win last night, a tight one, 5-1, and they win today 8-4 as they get it done today. A lot of hard hits. They pounded out 14 of them today, and they go on to win as they defeat New Orleans. And the Redbirds get a 2-game, they end up splitting the 4-game series here.
Yeah, and they're happy with that. The way this thing started, with the Cakes playing just 2 really finely executed games, well pitched, opportunists with the runs, getting a couple of big hits, not a lot of hits, but got enough to drive in a few and won the first 2 cleanly. And then things went wobbly at the end of game number 2, and then this one, Austin Beggs, they got to him a little bit for 11 hits in 5 2/3 innings, 7 runs, and there were some outs too that were hit pretty hard. He was finding their bats, and he stood out there like a big boy and scuffled with them to get that deep into the game. But they put up a bunch of runs, and the Cakes, with the opportunities they got, could have gotten back in this game, but they did not. And that may be the line you draw under this one.
Yeah, tough one tonight. So New Orleans will go to 15-12. Memphis goes to 15-12. And come tomorrow, we welcome in Oklahoma City for the first of a 4-game series. Meanwhile, Memphis will continue their long road trip as they will make their way to the Music City to take on the Nashville Sound. So tomorrow night, it's a fireworks night. We get the PCL Pitcher of the Week going for us twice. Zach Gallen, we'll get to see him again, and he'll match up against Brock Stewart, our pitching matchup.
Well, all you can say about Zach Gallen is everything he's done this year has been solid. Every outing that he has had has been right where he wants it, and that's a wonderful thing to be able to say. Gallen's gone out there 5 times. He only has 3 wins, but his ERA is .81.
He's been great.
And
well,
5 solid efforts. Let's hope tomorrow night is another one.
Looking forward to that. We want to thank you for joining us here tonight. Hope to see you at the ballpark this weekend. Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday day, and then Monday night. 4-game series against OKC. That'll wrap it up from the ballpark. Memphis ends up winning the final 2 games of the series. They win it tonight, 8-4. Thanks for tuning in today. We will see you tomorrow night at the Shrine on Airline.